Week 25 in USL Super League touches down in Coney Island as Brooklyn FC hosts Dallas Trinity FC from Brooklyn, New York. Mackenzie George, she is the creator for Brooklyn. When she has the ball at her feet, she is absolutely lethal, and she'll need to do that tonight against Dallas. Lexi Misimo, 2 goals in 3 matches played last time these two teams met. First career assist, Brooklyn, Dallas. We have it for you next. For the 4th time this season, Brooklyn FC takes on Dallas Trinity FC as we get set for Week 25 action in the USL Super League. Welcome in alongside Jessica Charman. I'm Josh Toll. And Jess, these two teams on very different paths. Last time they met, Dallas, a dominant 6-0 victory.
Well, this is the 4th time these two teams have met, and it was all Brooklyn FC to begin with. Dallas didn't score in the first 2 matches that these sides met, and it was Brooklyn with their standard sellies. That all changed last time out when the floodgates opened for Dallas Trinity. 6-0. And what I love about this game for Dallas Trinity is the fact they were able to find different goals scored from different players. This is going to be a fascinating matchup. 12
different goal scorers for Dallas. Our standings. Brooklyn, for the first time since Week 14, has fallen out of the top spot here in the USL Super League. Dallas, a win today, they will leapfrog up above Brooklyn in the standings, and it is close. 5 points separates first from 5th in that playoff line. Brooklyn offense, they have been electric this season. They will need to find a way tonight to get back in the scoring column.
It's been fascinating for Brooklyn FC because Jess Silver told us the break almost came at the wrong time. They had so much momentum in the forward line, but they've struggled scoring defensively. More of the same tune for Brooklyn FC. Defensively, they were fantastic in the fall, but this spring they have struggled. It's all about the fact they conceded those 6 against Dallas Trinity. Is it an anomaly? We'll have to see if they can right that wrong today.
And a player they will rely on is a star striker in Luana Gravias.
And Luana Gravias is such an exciting player. She's physical on the ball, she knows how to use her body, and she's got a venomous strike. The issue has been she hasn't found enough opportunities in front of goal, and the XG of those shots she's creating at the moment is too high. She's got to find herself in better areas for simpler finishes.
Dallas currently leading the league in scoring 27 goals on the year. When they get an attack, they are absolutely dangerous.
Well, they've been fascinating because of the fact, as we've mentioned time and time again, they have 12 different goal scorers. That's the most in the league. But it's not just about the different personnel, it's the different styles of goals. Whether it's headers, whether it's cutting crosses, volleys, golazos, they have a little bit of everything in their forward power.
And Allie Thorin, she is a nightmare for back lines, and once again, Brooklyn will go against her.
Well, she's second in the Golden Boot race in the USL Super League for a reason. Coming off a brace the last time she faced Brooklyn FC. She's an electric forward with an eye for goal, and she's a player that's full of confidence right now with the form that she finds herself in.
And they'll look for more confidence as they look for their 2nd straight win against this Brooklyn side. Brooklyn, meanwhile, scoreless in their last 3 games. They look to bounce back, and they look for revenge. 3 points, and they can move up to 1st place. 3 points for Dallas. They move up to 2nd place.
Hearts. No 2 beat the same. So we built a team of the best heart surgeons, pioneers of the most modern techniques, who always find the one approach that's best for you. But while each surgery is unique, the outcome is the same: the highest success rates. NYU Langone Health.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Brooklyn FC meets Dallas Trinity for the fourth and final time this regular season. Brooklyn won the first two meetings. Dallas with a big 6-0 win the last time these two teams met. Our starting lineups, we begin with Brooklyn FC, and just two changes for head coach Jessica Silva.
And Jessica Silva described this as a redemption match. She wasn't happy with the effort or the mindset of her side the last time these two sides faced each other. Look at Sam Reset in that number 2 position. To be a leader, she needs to step up and lead this side with the passion we've seen before.
Cindy Martinez getting the start once again between the sticks for Brooklyn. Meanwhile, Dallas Trinity in a 3-5-2 under Paulina McDonald.
And just one change from McDonald's side. Brian coming in for Abby Aidu. I love this attacking fight over Dallas Trinity. There is pace, there is technical ability, there is excitement, and I have to say it, there is goals on paper in this team setup.
6 goals the last time these two teams met for Dallas. A very different looking game than what we're used to seeing between these two sides.
They had always been close, they had always been competitive, but I'll tell you, Josh, in that game, halftime was just 2-0. And I think what we saw from Jess Silver and heard from Jess Silver is the heads dropped and it became unacceptable from a team that has been on an incredible run of form. Brooklyn FC has found themselves in a little bit of a slump as of yet, those 2 defeats in a row. Today that needs to change.
Brooklyn winless in their last 3 games, have lost back-to-back games for the first time this season, falling this past weekend to Fort Lauderdale United. They look to bounce back here tonight at home. Still getting used to their home digs as well, playing on a baseball field, playing on a field that's more narrow. We'll see how that comes into play tonight as well for Dallas.
And head coach Jess Silva was honest about the challenges that come. I think for both sides, they're playing on the same pitch, similar struggles looking to occur. But Jess Silva said, we're making history, the first side to play in this area. And she's so proud to be a part of making history and representing female athletes across the United States, but more particularly in the New York area.
And talking to Jessica Silva about the keys to victory, they want to get more shots on target, play with more grit here tonight, and really get off to a fast start. That is going to be key moving forward for Brooklyn. This ball played up the middle. A chance here, weaving around and shot on target, and it's going to be easily scooped up. Cindy Martinez back between the sticks here tonight for Brooklyn. On the other side, Madison White with 6 clean sheets for Dallas.
It's Jess Garziano, the birthday girl, with a shot on goal. It's not the most convincing shot. She needs to go either side. But what's encouraging for Brooklyn FC is it's one shot and it's a shot on target. It's been clinical finishing that has been the red flag for this Brooklyn FC side since the spring season begun. And there you've got 1 for 1 in terms of shots on target.
Just the 1 goal, that coming back in February, and Jessica Silva talking about if they can get that 1 to go in, she feels that many more are going to follow afterwards.
Well, the cliche is the floodgates will be open, and Jess Silva definitely hoping for that.
Pushing up now is Brooklyn onto the wing. Ball driven in, back post on top of the netting, and it'll be a goal kick here for Dallas.
And it's Sam Reset on that right side. We had her in our formation as a fullback. That's what she played the majority of the Super League season in. But we're seeing her in a more attacking role now, playing more as a winger and already getting on the ball in several occasions, wearing that captain's armband. I highlighted her as needing to be a leader today, and she's already started in this first 2.5 minutes by leading, just by the confidence that she's taking in her stride, delivering that ball in.
Jessica Silva talking about the leadership that she brings, her personality, the fact that she loves to play the game and really just brings a different dimension when it comes to leadership on the field.
And it comes with that maturity. She's been around the area, and I love watching Sam Rosette's social media because she's a proud Brooklyn girl getting to represent her city.
This over the head, though, of Rosette. And they'll go out of play for a throw here for Dallas Trinity. Dallas Trinity on the season, 7 wins, 4 losses, 6 draws, 27 points on the year. This ball is played in and sent back by Amber Brooks. Amber Brooks, one of the leaders of this Dallas side. This ball is going to be flicked up in the air by Hannah Davison. Both teams beginning to settle in here a little bit more. A little push there, and a free kick here coming for Brooklyn.
You just saw in the reaction there, Gracie Bryan not happy that that's given as a foul. This is always a physical meeting. We've seen it in both games, and Jess Silver said they want to embrace that physicality of the game, not get thrown off by it. And at the end of the day, this is your home field. And Jess Silver talks about wanting to make sure they assert dominance on their home field. Set pieces, Sam Kroger, a vital part of service. Let's see what she can cook up here.
This will be played out wide, and a chance to whip it in as it's brought into the back post and well over everyone. Nearest player to it was Rosette.
Just a bit of a disappointing service there in those moments when you have someone with the technical ability of Sam Kroger. I understand the mindset, trying to switch the angle, trying to find a different delivery. But if you have Sam Kroger on the ball, try and put that one into the danger zone, allow somebody an opportunity to run at it.
A chance here now for Dallas to push up, try and get up the field. Lancaster playing out wide, was looking for Allie Thornton. Kelsey Hill, though, back, and she'll just usher this out of play.
But our first look at Cameron Lancaster and that electric drive of pace. We'll get another look here at how quickly Lancaster gets her head down, splits two defenders. Sam Kroger can't keep up with her. I like the idea to try and split the defense, but just overhits it. And that's what we talk about, getting up to the run of play.
This ball dropped back to Brooks. Brooks drops it off. No one near the vicinity on that pass, just on miscommunication right there with Allie Thornton. Thought she was going one direction, Thornton just staying in place.
And that's 2 times. That's happened in quick succession. They're not quite being on the same page. We can call it growing pains. And you have to remember, for this Dallas Trinity side, they had a huge off season, bringing in plenty of different players into this lineup. You look at the fact that Cameron Lancaster is new to this squad, Tamara, new to this squad, Missimo, new to this squad. When you bring so many new players, no matter how technical they are, you have to understand it's going to take some time to gel together.
Gelling will be the key. You talk about Missimo coming in the January window. She's been absolutely a difference maker, especially with Sam Meza moving on. She's going to be a key piece here in the midfield once again tonight. We'll see what she can do. She got her first career assist the last time these two teams met.
And she's just a player that's brimming with confidence and someone that knows the Texas area, of course, during her collegiate career.
Martinez gives away on a poor pass back, and the opening goal of the game comes for Dallas. And it's Cameron Lancaster who gets on the board first.
And this is the danger of playing out the back. As a goalkeeper, a risk versus reward. We've talked a lot about Sydney Martinez and what she brings to the table. She's confident with the ball at her feet, but there just takes a heavy touch. And Cameron Lancaster reaps the reward. It's an organized high press. Lancaster reads it clearly, and she's never going to score a more simple goal than that. But for Jess Silver right now, she's got to have her head in her hands, because when it rains, it pours for Brooklyn. They started this game so well, and then you're undone by an individual error.
Cameron Lancaster with her second goal of the season, just picking the ball off the feet right there of Sydney Martinez. Lancaster also scoring for the second time against Brooklyn. And right now, Dallas just has the number of Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's going to have to find a way to settle in. The last time these two teams met, they let up a goal in the 6-minute of play.
Early goals, and that was another element that Jess Silver talked to us about. She highlighted individual errors and being frustrated that they'd conceded off of individual errors in big moments, and then mentioned the fact that they conceded so early on in the game. On the flip side, what did Pauline McDonald tell us? She told us how helpful it was getting that early goal, scoring at the right times, she described it. One at the start of the half, one at the end of the half. Well, she's already halfway to that successful moment that she talked about.
We talked to Pauline McDonald about where this team can improve. She thinks they can be even more ruthless in the box. There you get the mistake by Martinez, and they capitalize right away. Here's Tamara, plays it back. Ball bounces around, picked up by Kroger. Kroger will dash it forward. Pluck weaving through traffic, plays it out wide. Rosette, the captain, turns, plays it to the wing. A hard challenge, and this will be a throw here for Brooklyn. Pickard plays it right back in. Rosette just on the edge of the area, turns away, gives the ball up in the process.
And for me, Josh, it's going to be the mentality of Brooklyn right now that is challenged. The mentality. You're disappointed you've conceded. How do you respond right now with positive entries into the final third?
Rosette looking for Gravias as this is headed back in and cleared away by Brooks. This ball poked out wide. Kroger sends it in with the left foot. Good ball in, headed up in the sky. Garziano doing a good job getting her head to it, but couldn't get any pace behind that shot attempt.
Such a difficult cross for Garziano because she's always going to get underneath it when the ball's launched in, and it's very difficult to generate any sort of velocity.
Molly Thorne with a little dummy ball trying to get back. Martinez just sends it away.
Really good, though, from Sydney Martinez. As a former goalkeeper, I'll tell you, when you make a mistake, it can be so hard to get those first positive touches, recovering from that mental state you find yourself in when you're beating yourself up. She's had one very good back pass that she's dealt with, and then returning to her confident self. Sydney Martinez plays an extremely high line. She's a sweeper keeper. She's going to need to do that today against the pace of players like Thornton and Lancaster, and now it's good to see her regain her composure.
Doran applying the pressure, and once again, Martinez sending it away. Martinez 4 clean sheets on the season. Was out the last couple of games due to an injury as she suffered while she was away with Puerto Rico for national team representation.
And anyone that's watched Brooklyn FC all season long will recognize Sydney Martinez plays like no other goalkeeper. Jess Silva told us, tactically, a very different goalkeeper to play with you behind. I love how aggressive she is, but that aggression comes with the risk and the reward today. We've seen the risk first and foremost with a goalie that's confident playing with her feet, maybe a little too confident in that moment.
Brooks in the circle will back it up. Tamara giving chase, but she'll run out of room. Brooklyn now in these last 2 games outscored at 9-0. Just a 1 goal here in the spring season, 19 during the fall. George playing to the center, chested down. Pluck driving forward, shot from distance. Pluck trying to catch Madison White off her line, unable to do so.
It's really composed goalkeeping from White. I don't mind this from Pluck one bit, though. She means it, absolutely. You see her pick her head up there. If she doesn't lose her footing in that moment, maybe she gets a little bit more angle on that ball and it dips and tests White. In the end, a comfortable save for Madison White in goal.
Ball dispossessed by Brooklyn. Pluck once again on it. Out to Rosette. Rosette has numbers inside the box. Pluck trying to go out wide, dispossessed of the ball. Here's Lancaster. Pass intended for Thorne. Go out for the throw.
That's really important defending by Kroger there, getting her body in the way, able to slow down because it's the transitional moments that Dallas Trinity can be so dangerous in.
There is Pauline McDonald. First game was against this Brooklyn side as a coach. This ball played to width. Dallas stretching the field at the moment. Kroger sends it back. Grabhouse will play it forward. Wanted to connect there, but unable to get Yapel.
But it's incredible work rate from Grabias. The only concern is one of your attacking players is having to drop all the way into your defensive third to pick up the ball. In the end, the pass for Yapel isn't good enough, but I love the work rate from Grabias to really fight to try and regain possession for her side.
Dorsey. Here's Tamara. Tamara doing a good job right there, just shielding her body away from the defender and Mackenzie George.
She's a physical presence, but what I love about Tamara is it's a lot of the time you see a player like that and maybe you don't think they'll have the neat feet. Tamara has amazing feet. She's also extremely quick, and that perfect combination of technical ability with speed makes her an incredible asset to this Dallas Trinity side.
Brooklyn coming off a tough loss to Fort Lauderdale in that game. Jess Silva talking about they felt like they did a good job in the middle block, dealt with the speed of Fort Lauderdale, forced them to go long different times, got shots on target, but just didn't get that one to really break it to set things wide open, ultimately falling 2-0. This is one of the big keys. She liked the defensive performance, but they just need that one goal to go in. Right now, just struggling here in the spring season side of things.
And I asked her, does she feel like the defense has a little bit more pressure on her because of the fact that forwards aren't finishing? And she agreed. She said, absolutely. It is tough, and I speak as a defensive-minded player. It's tough when your forwards aren't scoring.
Tamara, dummy ball. Tamara cuts it to her left foot. Tamara with the left near post, stabbed away. George will now just play it out past the touchline.
It's absolutely filthy from Tamara, though. I love to see it. The confidence, the swagger, the understanding of the positioning of her defender to be able to get that quick turn in. So we get another look here at the Tamara move. I highlighted her, just that dummy, the understanding of where she's placed, and then that cut. Just so confident with the ball at her feet. In the end, didn't have enough on the shot to really test anybody, but Tamara's been an exciting addition into this Dallas Trinity side. And Josh, you mentioned the absence of Sam Messer. How are they going to replace Sam Messer? Well, there's no like-for-like switch for a player of her quality, and they wish her the best in her career. What they have added is so many more attacking, fun players into this roster that's making for the perfect combination at the moment.
Brooks sitting it over the top, was looking to link up with Thornton. Martinez backing up so she can scoop up the ball.
But I think you're seeing tactical awareness from Dallas Trinity right now. They know that Sydney Martinez is in a bit of a precarious situation in terms of her positioning. They understand that she's a sweeper keeper. They're trying to find those direct balls forward that get Sydney Martinez off of her line. But if they can get there ahead of her, anything can happen, as we saw with the goal.
Last time these two teams met, 4 players with a goal or an assist, goal and an assist. The last time they met when Dallas won 6-0, 5 different goal scorers in that game for Dallas Trinity. Right now, Dallas Trinity, they have settled into the game quite nicely. Brooklyn still trying to get involved. See if they can possess the ball here a little bit more in the attack in third as Brooks will gather it in. Dorsey, one of the more experienced players on this Dallas Trinity side, will play it up, looking for Tamara, goes over her head. Now a foot race between her and George, and Tamara wins it. Tamara able to get back, though, was Mackenzie George. Seen a good battle here between Mackenzie George and Tamara to begin this game.
And the versatility of Mackenzie George, because we've seen her predominantly at the start of the season in a more attacking role. We mentioned in our open how important she is as a player to get into attacking areas, but here you see her versatility. She doesn't win the first ball, but the determination to get back on the right side, to be able to slide her body in front of Tamara, and then have the physicality when a player's far bigger than you to be able to draw that foul. Really well done by Mackenzie George. And it's a tough one when you've got a player that's fantastic in multiple positions, because you have to sacrifice her in your attack to place her in your defense.
For you, what do you need to see more of right now from Brooklyn offensively?
I think it's just about connectivity, simple passes. We're seeing a lot of wayward balls, not being able to connect, and just to enjoy a little bit of possession in the middle third as well. We haven't seen enough on the ball. And my biggest issue for Brooklyn is the fact that, yes, they've had 3 shots, but it's equated to 0.17 XG. What that's telling you is they're not high-level chances. We've seen a long shot from distance from Pluck, and then we've seen a scuffed shot. They need to create better opportunities with higher XG that are more likely to find the back of the net.
George. Hill back to George. George will survey and go backwards once again. This one tips up and nearly went in again. Well, Martinez with another poor pass. Thornton, oh, that did go in for a goal. It snuck through into the side, and it went in for the second goal. That looked like it just went wide, but it took a deflection and somehow went through.
Let's have another look at this. And again, playing out the back, Sydney Martinez just can't catch a break right now. Drives it straight into the boots of Ali Thornton and straight into the back of the net. And my heart hurts for Sydney Martinez as a goalkeeper, but you have to have the vision. She's such a good goalkeeper, and she's usually so much cleaner with her feet, but I can't understand the concept of playing through that traffic. Ali Thornton, one of the best strikers in the league, is pressing you down, and you play directly into that direction. You have to try and switch the field, and for Brooklyn, the same woe continues. Individual errors leading to crisis, and out of nowhere, Dallas Trinity have the lead.
And now Ali Thornton with her 9th goal this season, tied for the lead with Addie McCain of Fort Lauderdale United. This ball played to the top of the box. Dropped off. A little back heel by Pluck, but no one there. Tomorrow will play down the field.
Dallas Trinity, I mean, Pauline McDonald's going to be happy, no doubt about it. Her side has a 2-0 lead on the road. But if we're completely honest, they barely created anything of their own. It's been Brooklyn FC being their own Achilles heel in these moments. And you look at the goals, and yes, Dallas Trinity deserves the credit that they've pressed high, they've identified an issue, and they've stuck to it.
And here's Lancaster. This ball played out wide. Ubogu. Ball dispossessed by Kroger. Sent down the line.
We haven't even talked about Dallas Trinity's stars, really. Ubogu's not been on the ball once because the goals have come from Brooklyn playing out their back line. Think about it. They haven't created a shot. It's literally been a defender playing it back to the goalkeeper, and then Dallas Trinity executing their press. And I think this is what is going to have Jess Silver's head in her hand. She's going to be in despair right now with, what can you do? It's just so difficult. And I just hope, for the goalkeeper's sake and Sydney Martinez, that they put their arm around her and they let her know, look, these things happen and we have to grow and adjust now.
Well, and after that Ali Thornton goal, Jessica Silva did bring over the team to try to calm them down and get them more involved in this game, just to take a breath for a moment.
It's just such a tough moment as a coach because you can't control what's happening on the pitch. It's adversity at its finest, but it's still a game. At the end of the day, 2 goals, and Dallas Trinity, if they can get back against, if Brooklyn can get opportunities to test Dallas Trinity, then there's still hope there.
Another chance maybe here for Dallas as this is dropped off. Thornton trying to bring it to her right, dispossess the ball. Good job there by Pamiso. Brooklyn looking to move up the field, but unable to get anything going on the other side of the field as of yet. Kroger nearly got to the ball, unable to do so. This ball played up, looking for Lancaster. Back is Hill to defend. Here's Lancaster on the edge of the area. Drops it to Brooks. Brooks going far post and swerves wide.
We'll see this build-up play from Dallas Trinity FC. Just a long ball. Lancaster with the vision. Picks up her head. Picks out Brooks. Brooks with a good first touch, then drags the shot. You got to give credit to the Brooklyn defender, though, in Sam Kroger, who's able to just step across and make it a more difficult shot for Brooks.
Interested in catching Brooklyn FC in action live by Monty D's Park? Scan the QR code on the screen for a chance to win 4 free tickets to Brooklyn's next home match versus Tampa Bay Sun on Saturday, March 29th. See you in Coney Island. Race for the ball, and this will go out of play, and it'll be a throw here for Dallas Trinity.
But it's good to hear the cries of "Let's go Brooklyn" circling around Maimonides Park and Coney Island, and it is a special venue to be able to play at, and I think they've done a great job on the marketing side. Brooklyn FC, cool jerseys, cool spirit, playing in an amazing venue. It's a credit to what they're able to do, and now they just have to try and find something to give these fans an opportunity to cheer about.
Really building something special in Brooklyn. And again, going back to the first half of the season, just how dominant they were, top of the table ultimately from week 14 until they lost last week to Fort Lauderdale. They have a special club. Now it's a matter of getting that consistency and finding their confidence right now, especially here tonight.
But it's been fascinating, this Super League inaugural season, because there have been clubs that have had ups and downs. You look at Carolina Ascent, sat pretty at the table for the majority of the full season. Now they've dropped out of that top spot. Then you had Brooklyn go on an amazing run. Then they had their struggling slump. Right now it's Fort Lauderdale United on their way up in great form, scoring goals, top of the table. But because of the parity in this league, it always feels like what comes up must have an opportunity to come down. And right now it's Brooklyn's opportunity for a little bit of a humbling moment on the pitch.
And you wonder what this game could be in terms of if there wasn't the 2 mistakes by the keeper. Martinez could very much be still 0-0, or who knows, maybe Brooklyn has a better opportunity moving forward.
Well, it's so hard when you have a team talk and then within 7 minutes you're 1-0 down off of an error. And this team is well gelled together. Jess Silva always tells us she has a great group of girls that support each other, that are on and off the pitch supporters of each other, and I have no doubt that this team will support Sydney Martinez. However, it's very frustrating as a player when you set out and then one of your teammates makes an error. So you have to be a bigger person and be able to bring back that team chemistry that this side clearly has. And it's good to see the trust still there, playing the ball back to Martinez, who this time gets a better switch on.
Ubogu. Martinez once again with the outer foot, plays it out wide. George plays backwards. Here's Brooks, nearly got to the ball. Tamara. Tamara going shoulder to shoulder. She'll lose this battle. What is Dallas doing so well defensively right now to make it difficult for Brooklyn to have any possession in the attacking third?
I think they're just so organized. They are so organized in the way that they are able to get bodies back, and they're just able, even if it's committing a foul here, it's not a bad idea. Tamara understands that they're about to get a transitional moment, so it's a professional foul. So I think everyone being on the same page, a willingness in some moments to commit fouls to prevent Brooklyn, and then just organizing the pressure. You see it. They hand off the pressure. Mizimo presses. Once Mizimo's pressed, then it's the next player, and it's the next man up mentality that these ladies have, which is fascinating.
Catherine McCormick, our referee, will give us the go-ahead once again. Pluck. Out wide. Brooks coming over and does enough to win the ball back. Just getting her body right there to make a little bit of contact to win the ball. Lancaster, who has a goal in the 7th minute. Allie Thornton, the other goal scorer, had a brace last time these two teams met. Hill into the circle. Just nothing going offensively right now for Brooklyn, giving the ball right back to Dallas. Lancaster with a little space, gets on the ball, goes down the channel. Lancaster crossing and a corner coming for Dallas.
What a ball from Tamara, though. I absolutely love this service from Tamara into Lancaster. And this is impressive because it's two players that were new to this squad, have only featured on the pitch together 3 times. The outside boot pass into the channel for Lancaster to run. She checks her shoulder. She knows there's no one there, so she's patient. Let's look at that technique again. My goodness, chef's kiss from Tamara. It's classy with that ball.
Bogu now with the corner for Dallas. Setting up for an inward swinging ball. Played in, headed down, and covered up by Martinez. Select the official match ball supplier of the USL Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest select products, specials, and more. Select the player's choice. Lancaster dispossessed of the ball. Here's George. George, see Tamara right on her. Brooks coming over to help defensively as well.
But look how better things are happening for Brooklyn FC when they push George forward, when she gets into attacking areas. And I think that's going to be a decision that Jess Silva has to make. And I expect to see adjustments, whether from the bench players or the format.
George, back post. Bogu sends it high into the air. Headed back by Thornton, but back is Kelsey Hill to receive. Graziano trying to get it to her left foot. Will play it out wide instead, but dispossessed right into the feet of Ubogu.
And that's what they're doing well. Dallas Trinity, their wingers, their forward-minded players still get involved on the defensive side of the ball.
For Dallas, last meeting came against this Brooklyn side. They were supposed to play Lexington Sporting Club on Saturday, but the game was canceled due to weather. That game rescheduled now for April 6th. So they did have a little bit of a break while Brooklyn had to play Fort Lauderdale United.
But honestly, I think it's kind of tough to shape up against the same team back to back. And Paulie McDonald told us it was an interesting dynamic having to prep for the same team.
This chested down. But once again, Dallas win the ball right back. Here's Brooks. Brooks knocked off the ball and then commits the foul. When you talk about a professional foul earlier, this is the first card of the game given to Amber Brooks.
And I can actually understand Amber Brooks' frustration in this moment because she feels like she was fouled in the lead up. Let's take a look. Amber Brooks makes a beautiful turn, full spin, and then Grabias hacks at her ankles a little bit. Does touch the ball, but comes through Brooks. The issue is that Brooks retaliates. You can't do it in this moment. She gets straight back up and she wants to commit the foul, and that's what the referee's seen. She's seen the retaliation, instantly go into the pocket. Understand Brooks' frustration, but a player with her experience needs to have a little bit more composure and realize that she can't control the referee, get up and win back the ball fairly.
Now a free kick here coming for Brooklyn. Last time it was not Kroger who took the kick, it was Pluck. Let's see if that changes on this one. Back pass. Kroger plays it out wide. Played in by Rosette. Headed away with ease.
I think they're overcomplicating these set pieces.
And now here a chance for Lancaster to run. Lancaster pushing up. Trying to weave away from Pluck.
She's 1 versus 6 and she keeps the ball. Magnificent.
Here's Julia Dorsey, the 24-year-old. Thornton. Dallas playing with patience, just recycling backwards. Gracie Bryan. Dallas not forcing anything. A little press here by Brooklyn, trying to force a mistake like we saw on the other end. And here's a mistake, giving the ball back to Brooklyn. Rabez will play it forward, headed away. This ball played outside. High looping ball into the box, a chance here, headed backwards. George. This blocked away. Kroger out wide. Grabaz will play it in. Sent away to the front. Blocked. Deflected. A chance. Knocked away. And this should be a corner for Brooklyn.
And this is the best attacking player, Brooklyn FC, all night long, creating a little bit of chaos. You see Yapel just drags her shot a little bit, and then a clash between players. No foul really there in that moment. Seemed to be a fair challenge in the end as Garziano went to try and get a touch in. But it's encouraging for Brooklyn FC. The build-up play, the connections in the passing, starting to look more like the Brooklyn FC we saw when they went on that 8-game unbeaten run.
Inward swinging ball set up. The delivery from Kroger into the box, headed away. Tamara taking it by herself at the moment. Gets by one defender. Tamara now waiting for some reinforcement. Brooks. Ubogu sizing it up, plays it in. A chance here for Pluck to go the other way. Knocked off the ball by Ubogu.
Great recovery from Ubogu. She'll be disappointed with the quality of the cross, but she earned back possession.
Brooks looping ball, wanted Tamara. Also Thornton in the vicinity as well. George down the line. Grabias at midfield. Grabias dropping a little bit deeper back, playing it out wide. High arcing ball, but right at Madison White.
Great technique from Madison White. It can be tough as a goalkeeper when you've watched your opposite number have a couple of nervy moments. It makes you think twice as well. I've been impressed with Madison White, though. She's an experienced goalkeeper that has had a couple of really good games, come up with some magnificent saves. Jess Silver talked to us about it. She said there was a save in that game, the 6-0, where if Madison White doesn't save it, it's a different game completely. So Madison White right now keeping the clean sheet and hasn't been tested much, but what she has had to do has been very clean and professional.
Tied for the lead in clean sheets with 6. Garziano out wide. Ball deflected off the volley and well over the target.
And we've just seen a bit of a whiff from Grabias, but a player on the flip side that has just been so remarkable so far this evening has been Lancaster. I mean, that tight ball control. Watch this turn, stunning, to evade 2 players. And then this situation as well, this breakaway, driving forward. She's got such good pace. She's swarmed by Brooklyn jerseys, 6 players back, yet she still finds a way to keep the ball. She's an asset to this Dallas Trinity side.
Speed, technical ability as well. Her and Tamara, they've impressed here in this opening half of play for Dallas Trinity.
And I just think that's credit to the front office. The scouting, the recruiting that you have to do in this league, and your ability to be able to add players. And here, drawing the foul. Hill, the only thing she can do is give her a 2-handed shove in the back, and you're seeing she's a player that frustrates you.
Ubogu. Little step over, looking to send across. And this will be a corner kick. Oh, they're gonna say this will be a goal kick. We're gonna have our second booking of the game, and this will go against Brooklyn. Tamara, the player down for Dallas Trinity.
We'll get another look at what's led to Tamara being down, and you see just a bit of a shoulder challenge. I don't think there's anything too malicious there, if I'm honest, coming in from Sasha Pickard. Just looked like she mistimed her jump a tad bit and ended up catching the shoulder of Tamara. It's a painful one. She did get shown a yellow card, though.
Pickard given the second yellow card of the game. Amber Brooks given the first yellow card of the game.
But what's surprising me is they didn't get a corner. I guess they gave the advantage in the end, but it's not as much of an advantage when you got your Tamara, one of your stars, down on the ground during the play.
Tamara, though, up. Pickard with the first booking for Brooklyn. Brooklyn, though, here in the last 5-10 minutes, so it's trying to settle in a little bit more into their offense.
They have, and I've been impressed with some of the patterns of play. The issue is they haven't had enough of those patterns of play. Brooklyn FC looks best when they get the ball on the ground, they find their channels, they serve in deliveries, and they get bodies forward. The issue is that Dallas Trinity has been so good in transitional defending, getting back bodies in, and understanding how to slow them down. I also think for Brooklyn FC, one of the issues has been finding that final pass. There's been some good build-up, and then they try and force that final pass through the bodies that Dallas Trinity has been able to get back.
How can they get Garziano involved here a little bit more before the break?
Her movement has to be a little bit more dynamic. I think that she's allowed Dallas Trinity an opportunity to shade with her. She also needs to step up and be a tad bit more vocal. I feel like in some moments she's in very good positions and she's not necessarily demanding the ball.
The small play to midfield. Hill back. We'll send it back to Martinez. Martinez looking for George. Just a trip and a stumble to give the ball away now. Dorsey will look to take advantage. Missimo out wide. Lancaster. Looping ball. Up and on top of the webbing. Interested in catching Brooklyn FC in action live at Maimonides Park? Scan the QR code on the screen for a chance to win 4 free tickets to Brooklyn's next home match versus Tampa Bay Sun FC on Saturday, March 29th. See you in Coney Island. Martinez once again playing away. You see the pressure once again from Lancaster, just trying to force another mistake.
And I think once you've seen that moment happen twice, very similar goals, you're right to continue to pressure, to continue to try and reap that reward. But I've also loved that that hasn't been the only one dimension of Dallas Trinity's attack. They've got so many attacking players. We highlighted it in the lineup in the open. The attacking 5 is so impressive for this side, so diverse in the way they attack, that it's really put Brooklyn on their heels.
12 different scorers on the season for this Dallas Trinity side. 29 goals now on the year for the club. Lancaster once again on the ball. Tamar out wide. Thornton. They aren't going to say last touch by Dallas.
But as much as it ends up being a Brooklyn FC throw-in, just watch how high Dallas Trinity is pressing on this throw-in. They're trying to pin Brooklyn FC down on the ground. There will be a stoppage of play due to an injury here.
Coming into the game, Dallas Trinity, 89 shots on target on the season. And while both their goals have come from errors made by the keeper and Martinez, they've also looked dangerous in their run of play on the field.
They have, and let's not forget those errors don't happen unless you're organized in the pressure. So credit to Thornton and Lancaster, who, yes, got easy goals in the end, but they had to have that initiative to press Martinez in order to find themselves in that opportunity. But it's the wingers for this side. When you look at Ubago and you look at Tamara, getting them on the ball, driving in errors, and then Cameron Lancaster. I mean, I don't have enough good words to say about what she brings to the table, her confidence, her ability on the ball, matched with that pace. She's going to be one of the best players in the Super League this season.
Lancaster with 2 goals on the season now, both coming against this Brooklyn side. Brooklyn trailing at home 2-0.
There is a lot of blood.
Last 3 games have now allowed 10 goals. Have not scored since the month of February. Still looking to settle in. Missimo is going to come off the field for Dallas. There's a collision, and due to the injury, she's going to come off.
And I was just saying, a lot of blood coming out of her mouth in that moment. I wonder if it might be something dental potentially. And for Missimo, she won't want to leave the pitch, but I think she might need to get some extra treatment now.
Missimo, a player that we haven't even said much of her name today. Last time these 2 teams met, she had a goal and assist. And we'll have our first substitution as Missimo will go off. And now, Sarah Henson will come on. Henson, the 27-year-old, does have 1 goal and 2 assists on the season.
And as much as you're frustrated if you're Dallas Trinity to lose a player of Mizumo's quality, you're also in a fantastic position to bring an asset onto the field like Sierra Henson. She's a great runner, she's got a good technical ability again, and she just adds another dynamic to what is already a terrifying Dallas Trinity FC front line. And I can't emphasize this enough. Dallas Trinity has so many assets in their forward line that any back line would struggle with handling them.
When you talk about the depth of this Dallas Trinity side, 5 substitutes have scored a goal for Dallas this season, including Henson, who's now on the field. It's been for Dallas a game. Take advantage of the high press.
It has indeed. We'll get a look at this first one. Lancaster was a heavier touch from Sydney Martinez in goal. Lancaster still has a little bit to do here because there is a recovering defender, and Sydney Martinez tries to throw herself there. In those moments, sometimes the world slows down and you just have to be composed. This one, Ali Thornton, just right place, right time, as Sydney Martinez needed to try and switch the field of play. You see it. You're driving it straight into the path of Ali Thornton, the USL Super League's joint top scorer now.
9 goals now on the season for Ali Thornton, tied with Addie McCain of Fort Lauderdale United. A chance to possibly even get to 10 and be the first player into double-digit scoring here in the USL Super League.
It's good to see Sydney Martinez having that conversation with George, though, and I think you're seeing that she's a little frustrated too, and I will protect the goalkeeper in this moment. It can be tough when you don't feel like you have options, when you don't have players checking. It's good to see this camaraderie. And I think what Sydney Martinez is saying is, I need people to drop back. I need people to show, if you want to play my feet, good, but I've got to have a release pass quicker.
Talk about this. You see the communication with Martinez and her teammates, and now with her head coach as well. You have to love that as a coach and as a player, the ability to go over, all right, we need to have a discussion right now. This is what's working. This is what's not working. This is how we're going to fix it.
Well, I've really enjoyed having the opportunity to talk to Jess Silva all season long, and I think the way she sees the game and the way she respects her players, it is just what this sport needs. It's so important to have a manager like Jess Silva, and she always praises her players. She says she's got an absolutely incredible group of players, but she's also a very humble leader, but I think so much that has to do with the way that she leads her team. They respect her, she's going to give them tough love, and I think finding that balance with Martinez right now. Martinez knows in herself she's made an error, she knows she's frustrated, and Jess Silva finds that balance of the nurturing of, look, I believe in you, I know you've made a mistake, let's get back to what we're good at.
There's a look at the head coach and Jessica Silva. Great conversation with her this week before this game. And really, she just wants to get more shots on target right now, be more lethal in the attacking third. But Dallas Trinity doing a good job of slowing down the attack right now of Brooklyn FC. We've seen Brooklyn struggle defensively here today against this Dallas Trinity side. But still, you look at the run of play, Dallas Trinity really not doing much in terms of getting a whole lot on target on Martinez.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Sydney Martinez hasn't had to really make a save. There was one very good interception from a corner. It was a good catch, but other than that, hasn't been tested. And you look at the stats, Brooklyn's had 6 shots. The issue is only 2 of them are target. And I go back to the XG, 0.28 now of that XG. It's telling you the same story that we discussed earlier on in the half. They may be getting opportunities, but they're not high-level opportunities. I think for Jess Silva, the quality of the chance that's created also needs to be a point of emphasis. It's one thing to want shooting opportunities, but you don't want to just go for any sort of shot. You want to make sure that you're patient and you find the right looks that can really challenge Madison White in goal, because when you look at the saves White's had to make, they've just been simple bucket catches.
For you right now, for Brooklyn, as we approach stoppage time, what can they do to be a little bit more dangerous in terms of the build-up? Do you just want to see them connect more passes as they work down the field?
Yeah, I think the possession is important, and also in transition being a little faster. It's hard when you have a player like Luana Garabias having to drop back, because when she drops all the way in, it's leaving the space. So the communication needs to be there as well to switch with position. If Garabias is going to come back and regain possession in the defensive third, she's got great range. The issue is someone has to fill Grabias's spot that she's vacated by dropping deep so that she has an option. So I think communication needs to be there for Brooklyn FC a little better.
What would you like to see more from in the midfield from Sam Kroger? We're saying more from her really on dead ball situations, but how can she also get a little bit more involved?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, you talk about the dead ball situations. I do think Brooklyn needs to simplify it. At the end of the day, if you're not creating chances in the run of play, your set pieces are almightily important, and I just don't think they've utilized set pieces. They've overcomplicated them. For Kroger, because she's had to be so defensive and be utilized so much more in a defensive midfield position, she hasn't been able to pull the strings maybe in the way that we know she can. So I think for Sam Kroger, getting on the ball, enjoying a little bit of possession, trying to build around with other players. I'd like to see her and Gaziano create and connect a little bit more on the ball and just find opportunities. But I think for Brooklyn FC right now, half-time, get a clean slate and have that 0-0 mentality.
Live standings right now. With this scoreline, Brooklyn would leap above, or excuse me, Dallas would leap above Brooklyn if they do get the 3 points in total tonight because of goal differential. They would ultimately be in second in the standings. Brooklyn right now tied with Fort Lauderdale with 31 points. Fort Lauderdale, they will play later this weekend as Fort Lauderdale United will host Spokane. Spokane currently playing Tampa Bay at the moment. So these are the live stats. So Brooklyn would actually be at 31 and Dallas would be at 30. And coming out of that stoppage time for FC Dallas, Paulie McDonald, what will your final words be to your team here as we get closer to the break?
No silly mistakes. Go into the half with that 2-goal cushion. At the end of the day, a side is always vulnerable when they have this stoppage in play, when they have a moment where they slow down. And I think just keeping the ball, don't give up any opportunities. If you can grab another goal, excellent. But let's focus on going into the break with the shutout.
This ball sent down the line. Dallas Trinity looking to go into the break up 2-0. Goals from Cameron Lancaster and Allie Thornton in this game for the visitors. Here is Thornton to Lancaster. Out to Ubogu. Ubogu with the left from long distance and easily scooped by Martinez.
But as easy as this is for Sydney Martinez, it's another one of those moments, and I don't want to sound condescending or patronizing. I've been a goalkeeper that's made a mistake. You're just thankful to have an opportunity to get your hands on the ball, do something right, and grow in confidence.
This ball chipped up by Brooks. Kroger out wide. Picker down the line. Rosette at midfield. Giveaway by Rosette. Here's a chance for Tamara. Tamara with left and easily stopped by Martinez.
But again, another save for Sydney Martinez to just build that confidence, to have a little bit of a regroup yourself and restore confidence in yourself. So much about goalkeeping is your mentality and your confidence and your self-belief. As we get another look at the opportunity, Tamara driving forward into the box, an outside boot dink, never really going to test Sydney Martinez.
Foul called against Brooklyn. Brooklyn just waiting to get to the locker room here at the moment and just regroup before the second half. Kroger pushed from behind. Tamara's got to be careful. That's a couple different times she has pushed an opponent from behind.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to not see the referee have a slight word with Tamara. It's becoming persistent infringement now.
Lofted ball towards the box. A chance off Rosette, but couldn't keep her feet. Lost her balance, goes right to White.
And I think this one just caught Rosette off guard a little bit. It's deflected into her path off of Gaziano. Wasn't really a pass, more of just a ricochet. And in the end, Sam Rosette couldn't find that angle to be able to take the ball down and create an opportunity.
Lancaster. Must be a foul here called against Brooklyn. And maybe one last chance here for Lancaster and company.
Mac Block not happy at all. It looked like a bit of a tangling of legs, not really anything untoward, as the referee signals now that there's been too many fouls from this Brooklyn side, and next time it'll be a card.
Now Amber Brooks with a free kick here for Dallas Trinity. Brooks into the area, into the spot, headed up. Sent away by George. Here's Pickard. Pickard sends it forward. Rosette dashing forward. Rosette, though, unable to send anything across as she was cut off on the play by Jenna Walker.
It's funny because that play almost felt like Brooklyn's match, getting into decent areas, but then the ball just not bouncing the right way. 9 times out of 10, Rosette's able to drive that into the defender, knock it out, and at least get a corner kick. But today, everything that could kind of feels like it's going against Brooklyn, every bobble, every bounce. And sometimes when you're having one of those games, you just need your big players to step up. You need one big tackle, one big pass, one good shot to help grow your confidence when you feel like everything is stacked up against you.
They just need that one momentum-changing thing to happen that could lead to a goal, and that changes everything completely. Dorsey will send it up once again to Tamara. Tamara going out wide behind the intended target, Ubogu. Called for the foul, as this will be an opportunity for Brooklyn maybe to get that moment here before we go to the break.
And again, this is where the soccer IQ of understanding that the clock is ticking. You've got one more opportunity, launch it in. It's probably going to be the final phase of play, and you're seeing them send some bodies forward.
Numbers 4, ball into the area. Headed away with these, no danger there for Dallas Trinity. And that will close out the first half of play. Jessica, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's been one of the strangest games in USL Super League that I've had an opportunity to call, just because the goals came in such a random faucet. It's 2 mistakes again for Brooklyn FC that Jess Silva is going to be extremely frustrated about. Sydney Martinez, you feel sorry for her as a goalkeeper. It happens once and it's a shock moment, but to happen twice in a game just feels so unfortunate. They've got to find a way to adjust there. Dallas Trinity, though, they've been so organized in their pressure. They forced mistakes out of Brooklyn FC, but more importantly, they're continuing to attack. When they can get their attacking football connected, when they can get players like Cameron Lancaster on the ball, good things happen for Dallas Trinity.
A chance for Brooklyn to take a break, as we will be joined now by Cameron Lancaster. Cameron Lancaster with the first goal of the game. Cameron, thanks for joining us. You get the first goal of the game. Just what were your thoughts on that press that led to the mistake from Martinez?
I think just pressing high and starting off the game. Just starting off the game really high and intense, and just keeping up the pressure, and I think that's what we need to continue to do.
Well, Cameron, you look like you're having a lot of fun out there. How do you describe yourself as a player? What do you enjoy when you're playing the beautiful game?
I think I just love the ball at my feet. I love to run at players, and I think this team likes to have possession and keep the ball, so I think if we can continue to do that, we can come out of this game with a win.
Cameron, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That was Cameron Lancaster, who got her second goal of the season, second one coming against Brooklyn here this year. Dallas Trinity at the break, leading 2-0 thanks to goals from Cameron Lancaster and Allie Thornton, recording her 9th goal of the season. At the break, it's Dallas Trinity 2, Brooklyn FC 0.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador, Spiked Bebidas.
Ramirez, Corbin defending. Ramirez is in behind the keeper and scores!
Marley Canal is with the cross. Richardson tapped home.
Bedoya launches and tucks it into the top right-hand corner. Whoa! Say man by Alpizi.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, tricked. I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses have broken free from the fields.
45 minutes in the books. Brooklyn FC trailing at home to Dallas Trinity FC by a score of 2-0, the fourth and final meeting of the regular season between these two sides. In our news and notes here around USL Super League, 8 straight for Fort Lauderdale United. Brooklyn did it earlier, and now Fort Lauderdale United on a run in the top spot in the standings.
And Tyrone Mears' side has been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Hamid, a huge part of their success, continuing to make a statement, and now it's about consistency for Fort Lauderdale United. For Spokane Zephyr, playing right now, Amina Ekic is an incredibly strong player, and they're glad to have her back into the lineup. She's got a fantastic free kick. And then Tampa Bay, Natasha Flint, Carly Gemona, Cecile Flo. They are quality goal scorers, and their front three has become a force to be reckoned with.
Tampa Bay right now on the outside of the playoffs looking in. They are currently playing Spokane, but big games coming up this weekend here in the USL Super League. Fort Lauderdale a chance to get to that, to extend their point lead in the top spot as they play Saturday.
And they're back at home, which is always a nice thing to be a part of. For Brooklyn FC, depending on how today goes, DC Power could be a bit of a red flag for them. DC Power struggling, but under their new manager have been playing better, improving every week. And Lexington SC, another team that has been bolstered by the arrival of Sam Stockley as an interim coach. Carolina Ascent, another team that's dropped off of their peak, so plenty of action to be had this weekend. Can't wait to be a part of it.
We can see plenty of movement here in the table in this USL Super League. But after 45 minutes play on the road, once again, Dallas Trinity leading 2-0 here at the break.
There was early goal for Dallas Trinity. The same again today, but not necessarily through quality from the visitors, but from poor decisions from Martinez in goal. Give Lancaster credit. It's a very good press, but Sydney Martinez knows that she should do better. Unfortunately for the Puerto Rican national team goalkeeper, it was deja vu in the 19th minute here. The heavy touch, and then Ali Thornton cuts off that angle and deflects it into the back of the net. I just can't help but think Sydney Martinez needs to take the touch across her body and switch it across. Jess Silverside have a lot of work to do. They did start to build a little better towards the end of the half. This their best looking opportunity, an awkward deflection. Garziano just didn't have the legs to get the toe poke in, but I like to see Brooklyn FC finally connecting in the final third.
Our stats from the first 45 minutes played, Dallas Trinity, 7 shots, 5 of those on target.
And that's a really encouraging sign for Pauline McDonald's side. For Brooklyn FC, 6 shots, 2 on target, but don't remember Madison White making a quality save. That's the issue for Jess Silver's side. Not good enough opportunities in front of goal.
Self-inflicted wounds, especially for Brooklyn FC in that first half of play. Here in the second half, we'll see a different side for Brooklyn. They can probably come out and be a little bit more aggressive, try to be difference makers. Second half for you when we return between Brooklyn and Dallas Trinity. Second half kick coming from Maimonides Park in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn FC trailing at home to Dallas Trinity, as this team, Brooklyn, needs to be more aggressive here in their attack. in this second half, struggling to find ways of creating opportunities in the opening half. They're going to have to find a way to be more dangerous here in the second half. For you, Jessica, what do you need to see from the home side to be more effective in the final third?
I think it's interesting you bring up the home side, and that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see Brooklyn FC take ownership of the fact this is their stadium, this belongs to them, this is their history, and to step foot and defend the pitch. It has felt in moments they haven't enjoyed playing on the field, getting the ball down and combining. We're seeing better combination instantly here.
This ball played up to Rosette. Sent away by Walker. Walker. Here's Tamara. Tamara dashing down. We did have one substitution come in for Dallas Trinity at the break. In is Sealy Strawn, out is Chioma Ubogu.
And I love Sealy Strawn, such a great attacking player.
How does that change things with bringing Strawn in? Does it just bring more into the attack because Ubogu's just so dangerous with those crosses? Here's an opportunity maybe for Brooklyn early. The cutback pass goes down. We'll have our first corner of the second half for Brooklyn, but already seen Brooklyn be dangerous here in this second half to begin.
Such a good attack, and it begins with Mackenzie George, a player I said needed to get more into attacking areas. It's clear Jess Silva has pushed her forward, and this is why. Great vision. You see what she's trying to do. Cut it back to Rosette, cut it back to Grabias. In the end, deflected, but an opportunity from an in-swinging corner.
Mackenzie Pluck to play it in for Brooklyn. Ball in, back post, tipped, and out of play. Good looking cross right there from Pluck, getting the back post.
We have seen Olympicos in the league this season. Pluck with a really good delivery in, but a great hand by White. Watch this again, vital tip. I think that one might be dipping in at the back post. So the biggest save we've seen all day long from Madison White.
Madison White making her 15th start of the season, 36 saves coming into the game, third best in USL Super League. 6 clean sheets tied for the lead league as this ball is flicked forward. In pursuit is Tamara, and it'll roll into the hands of Sydney Martinez. Pickard. Did a good job being on her backside as Henson. Henson also subbed in the first half for Lexi Misimo. Chip ball forward, into space, Walker there. Rosette. Ball played out wide in the channel. Grabias trying to get some space, plays it across. Brooks high, lofting ball, intended for Tamara. Tamara settles underneath and played out.
But it's so much better for Brooklyn FC getting bodies forward. The issue is when they get those bodies forward, a little dangerous in that transition, particularly when you have a player like Tamara as a target forward.
Henson, Rosette. Lancaster, who scored the opening goal, play backwards. Lancaster scoring in the 7th minute, Thornton in the 17th. This ball played out wide, brought down. Penisot will drop it off. This ball played towards the channel. Back to defend those Dallas Trinity. Henson.
Two coming out black.
Come on, Brooklyn! You're there, Sash!
Henson goes inside to Lancaster. Lancaster looking for Tamara as that ball is pushed forward once again by Brooklyn. Seeing Brooklyn be a little bit more physical here with Tamara in the second half. That was Penisot putting the pressure on Tamara as we'll have a sub now from Brooklyn. Dana Sheriff will come in. Off will go Rosette.
And I think Dana Sheriff, a more natural forward, a player that is more comfortable driving forward. I think Sam Rosette's put in a shift. She was on the pitch a lot for her leadership. We saw a couple of good services, but other than that, didn't find her on the ball enough. Dana Sheriff is going to offer you a little bit more dynamism, and she has a bit more confidence in front of goal from what I've seen of her this season.
3 goals on the season for Sheriff. Pluck looking for Sheriff. Davison trying to retreat, and there Sheriff applying the pressure, and she thought that should have been a corner.
But that work rate straight off the bench, have no doubt Jess Silva's just told Dana Sheriff to come in and be a nuisance. We'll get a look here. Just being a bit of a pain there, standing her ground. It's good defending in the end by Davison. She thought she'd been able to force the touch off, but the linesman in a far better position to see it.
Chance for White to send it away. Tamara on the touchline, playing it down. Here's George. George ushers it out of play. Every Wednesday, listen to USL Super League Game Week, a deep dive into all things Super League with hosts Marion Crowder and Anna Whitty. Follow along all season on the Sirius XM app. Dorsey will send it back in. Thornton shielding away 2 defenders, plays it out wide. Dorsey drops it outside. Chance here on the cross, but stopped by Martinez.
And this is a different Sydney Martinez. It's great to see out of the goalkeeper coming back strong, really confident inside her 6-yard box, coming to scoop that, and then a decent distribution forward.
Hinson. Walker gives the ball away to Pluck. Pluck pops it up into the air, but unable to reach her intended target. Pluck down. Chance here from distance and sails into the stands. So much more defensively better team here in the second half by Brooklyn.
Well, it's a high pressure, reaping the rewards there. Well done by Pluck. Just wouldn't sit for her there, and in the end just loops a ball in. Grabias' shot bravely blocked, and then Sasha Picker just showing she's a defender in a lot of ways, leaning back. This one, the technique is really nice from Grabias in the flying volley. A brave block by the defender for Dallas Trinity.
Dallas Trinity on the season looking for their 4th win on the road this year, leading 2-0. Both goals coming in the opening half of play, as this is played back to Martinez. Lofts it back to midfield. Penisot will go all the way back. Hill out wide. This will go out, and a throw in here coming for Brooklyn. So Brooklyn doing a better job here in the second half, inching down the field, looping ball in. Chance here, opportunity for Pluck, and what a save by White. White with the outstretched arms makes the first solid save of the night for Dallas Trinity.
Madison White doing everything right in this moment. Garziano gets it back to Pluck. That touch, beautiful, and it's a gorgeous strike from Pluck. Drives her foot through it. Plenty of power. If we're being hypercritical, maybe needs a little bit more of the placement towards the corner, but Madison White sharp to come grab.
Pluck nearly with a goal right there for Brooklyn. She's actually the last player to score for this Brooklyn side back in February.
And what a goal that was from Pluck. You know she's got it in her locker.
Scoreless here in the last 3 games as Brooklyn had their best chance of the night as Allie Thornton is going to be booked.
Just a little overzealous. from behind, from the forward. A clumsy tackle, nothing malicious, just a bit careless in the way that she went in.
Now 2 players have been booked tonight for Dallas Trinity. Amber Brooks in the first half and Thornton here in the second. And right now, Spokane up on Tampa Bay by a score of 2-1. This ball poked forward. Here's Pickard. Pickard goes out wide. Sheriff, who subbed on moments ago, back post, lofted, just over the outstretched arms of White.
But that's what you get for bringing in a player like Dana Sheriff. I was hoping that she would enter in the pitch. I think she could make a difference. You see it here. Don't know if she's going for that back post area, if I'm completely honest. Didn't pick her head up. It's a cross-come shot that if that dips in, you say it was a shot every day of the week. But it's the confidence that Sheriff is playing with that is so impressive. And still, when you look at that clock, plenty of time to be had for Brooklyn FC, particularly if they can cut this deficit in half in the next 10 minutes or so.
Pickard, here's Sheriff. Into the channel. Trinity going direct, unable to connect. And now Tamara will come off the field for Dallas Trinity. She was a difference maker in the first half. Lucy Shepard now on.
Lucy Shepard, who got that goal, obviously the final goal of the 6-0 thrashing last time they were out. I love how Tamara played. I just don't think she quite has the game fitness yet to go a full 90, which is completely understandable when you're new to a squad.
This ball played forward to Thornton. Thornton. Henson. Dallas looking to reset. A chance here, and this be stopped, but offside flag was up. And Spokane has gone final as they have taken down Tampa Bay by a score of 2-1.
And what's so impressive for Spokane is that's 2 victories in a row, Josh, that have come from stoppage time goals. 90+3 today, 90+3 last time out against DC United. They're a team that never gives up.
And here's Lucy Shepard getting her first touch to Henson. A chance here for Dallas, blocked aside. Play the top of the area, and Lancaster, let's go! What a save! The follow-up of the rebound is in! Dallas Trinity 3, Brooklyn 0. A nice rebounded goal. The ball movement here by Dallas, going player, get the shot. A brilliant save by Martinez, but ultimately the rebound is what does it for Dallas.
We'll get another look here. It's a really lovely run forward. We'll see the strike that comes in that forced an incredible save out of Martinez. And then it's right place, right time on the volley. A fantastic strike. You feel bad for the goalkeeper, Martinez, who's made an unreal save. And then it's Strawn with the goal, the teenager. And I tell you, she's a 2026 commit to North Carolina, but this girl has a future in the pro game.
When she subbed on, you talked about how she can make a difference in the attack, and right there, just gets the rebound. Martinez does a great job, but right place, right time for Strawn.
And that's what you do when you're a forward. You find yourself in good areas, and you anticipate moments like this. You anticipate that the goalkeeper's gonna make a save, that you're gonna have an opportunity. But again, for Sydney Martinez, man, you make a wonderful save. I mean, the reaction stop from the Lancaster strike is remarkable. And unfortunately, there's not much she can do with the rebound.
For Martinez, when it rains, it pours tonight. Doing everything she can here to make the stop, but Strawn with the goal to give the 3-0 lead to the visitors. Dallas Trinity playing with all the confidence in the world. With a 2-goal lead already, not that they're relaxing, but they don't have to worry as much in terms of being more clinical in the end, trying to take more risky chances. They can take their time and choose their poison when they want to attack.
Definitely, I think you can be picky when you don't need a goal, when you have that cushion. It also helps you relax a little bit to play the ball around. You're not feeling as threatened about making a mistake. It's good to see Brooklyn respond to this adversity, though. That was going to be my biggest question. Brooklyn fought hard. They came out of the halftime break really well. We were just talking about if they get a goal, the game, the momentum switches in their favor. Now with a 3-goal deficit, it starts to become a far bigger mountain to climb for Jess Silver's side.
City strong part of the Academy. Second goal this season. This is her 12th appearance of the year. 17 years old out of Prosper, Texas. Does also have 2 assists on the year. We'll have a yellow card handed out now to Mackenzie George.
Get another look at what led to this, and Mackenzie George just leaving her foot in on Amber Brooks on the follow through. And Jess Silver talked to us about the character of her team and that this was a redemption game, and as much as the result's not going in their favor at this moment, I think the test of character now is what Jess Silver's going to be looking for. Does her team continue to fight, or does it just drop its head? And she would not accept this side dropping their head in a way that I think they did when they played in the Cotton Bowl just a couple weeks ago.
A chance here now for Brooklyn to move up. A giveaway by Brooklyn. Brooklyn wanted a foul, didn't get it. Here's Brooks with the diagonal ball forward. Martinez able to bring it down with her chest. Martinez being aggressive coming up to make that stop right there. Otherwise, it's a 1v1 chance, maybe even more, if she can get around Martinez. There's Lucy Shepard. That was forward for Dallas Trinity. For Dallas Trinity, we talked to Polly McDonald about this team, where they can be more dangerous. She said in the attack, be more creative and being ruthless, and they're doing that here tonight.
They are. They're creating different chances. They're getting different players on the board. What I like about this side is how they can bring on different players. They can bring on their bench players, and they're still creating opportunities. And you see it in the statistics when you have a look at the numbers. 2.08 expected goals, 10 shots. The 7 on target, I think, is what Paulie McDonald's going to like the most, though. When you create opportunities, but you're also being clinical and forcing saves out of the keeper, you're feeling very good about yourself.
Talk about this Dallas team, the depth that they have, their ability to press, the ability to take chances, create chances in transition as this ball is played forward. For you, where do you still think that Dallas can get better on the pitch?
That's a great question. I think it's about being consistent across the game. I do feel like they have moments where they drop off, and I understand you can't go all the time, but they need to consistently be finding passes and patterns of play. And then also in these moments, I think there, Lucy Shepard, a player that has predominantly served as a bench player, a substitute, needs to pick her moments. You can't strike a ball from there. You can't rush and have this urgency to get on the score sheet. Be patient and look for passes around you.
This ball slipped in, but no one there for Brooklyn. And sent away now by Madison White. Talk about the depth of this team. The new players also that have been added, and they're still really gelling as a team. In total, this team could be very much even more dangerous as they continue to build chemistry. Here's a chance for Brooklyn on the end line. The cross off the side of the netting.
I think that's what's terrifying about Dallas Trinity. You've got all of these new players on a roster. You're still clicking pretty well. Imagine when you get 2-3 weeks of these players playing consistently together.
Interested in catching a Brooklyn in action live at Maimonides Park? Scan the QR code on the screen for a chance to win 4 free tickets to Brooklyn's next home match versus Tampa Bay Sun on Saturday, March 29th. See you in Coney Island. Martinez will send it away. Chopped down, kept in. Pressure there by Shepard. Pluck nearly gave the ball away. Stay up to date with the USL Super League. Sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at uslsuperleague.com/newsletter.
I do feel like this is such a strange game because of the early goals, and Paulie McDonald talked about the fact that she thought her team had scored goals in great moments in the 6-0 win, and You look at it again today, an early goal in the 6th minute, obviously the second goal in the 19th minute, but then you were able to get the Sealy Strawn goal in just before the hour mark. That was the killer. That was the dagger goal, because Brooklyn were growing. Brooklyn had momentum. Brooklyn were getting into some promising areas. That goal just felt like it knocked the wind out of Brooklyn FC's sails.
She talked about that last game, that they really pride themselves on how they defend, but really everything they've been working on coming to fruition, and we're seeing that here again against them for a second straight game for Dallas.
And that's what's impressive. I used the word anomaly in the open, and seeing whether it was an anomaly the way that Dallas were able to dominate Brooklyn. Well, it doesn't seem like it right now, and it took 2 tries for Pauline McDonald's side before they were able to even get on the score sheet, and now they found 9 in the last 2.
Back is Davison. Davison ushers this out of play. And this will be a corner, so it did last touch Dallas Trinity, but here's another opportunity for Brooklyn.
And the last corner we saw almost dip over the head of Madison White in goal. Let's see what Kroger can whip in this one.
Kroger will set up with the left foot once again. You just need to find a little bit of momentum, and maybe it can come right here for the home side. High arcing ball. Headed backwards. And now a corner from the other side. So now that'll send Mackenzie Pluck over to the opposite corner. And once again, Brooklyn will have an opportunity. They need to find ways to get bodies in front of Madison White, make this corner a little bit difficult for the keeper. Pluck goes on the ground to the top of the area from distance, dipping but right into the stomach of White.
But it's more good technique from White here. It's a decent shot from Kroger, but again, it's the same story when we come to placement. It's straight down the middle, straight into the hands of Madison White. She does well. She doesn't give up the rebound. There are a couple of Brooklyn players sniffing around for the rebound, but too easy for the goalie in the end.
Now Dallas Trinity on the attack once again. Brooks. Dorsey will drop it off. Shepard looping ball, but right at Martinez. Chloe McDonald talked about how last game she felt the team was very patient, organized, created chances. Would you agree we're seeing much of the same here tonight?
Yeah, if not a little bit more in some of the moments, because I do think Brooklyn has put in more fight in this game, so they've had to have their opportunities to defend, and I've been really impressed with the organization in the back line. I also think you've seen even more of their organized pressure in the attack. Those 2 goals don't happen. The first 2 goals of this game don't happen unless your team is on an organized pressing schedule. So seeing a group that's gelling together game after game, and Pauline McDonald's doing something very right on the training field with this group.
Pluck plays it out wide. Brooklyn once again in the attack. A chance here on the cross, and well out of play. Dallas defense has been tremendous tonight here against Brooklyn, making it difficult for the attackers.
And this goes back to what I was talking about, the fact that they've been tested in different facets, and it's been putting the body on the line. The commitment has been there. This is a great save, by the way, from Madison White to prevent that corner dipping in. And this is something that Pauline McDonald will be proud of. The fact that they have stepped up, they have been tested, they have faced some adversity. And in some moments, it's just looked, if I'm completely honest, like Dallas Trinity have wanted it a little bit more. They've been the first to step to the ball. They've been willing to put their body on the line. And that's something you can't teach. That's just about the mentality of these players.
Maybe an opportunity. Sheriff looking to get on the return. On to the end line. Back post once again. Sheriff was making a run. We talked to Jessica Silva about the unbeaten 8-game streak that they were on earlier this year. A large reason she thought was because of confidence. How can Brooklyn get their confidence back in this game?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about in the first half, needing one big moment. That was a great cross in by Sheriff, and that's a big moment that gets you believing that there's going to be service into the area. Someone needs to put in a big tackle. Someone needs to have a good save. Sydney Martinez, make a big save. Kroger, put in a great delivery. just little wins from your side that start to make you believe, okay, good things can still happen in this match.
Maybe this could be that good delivery right here from Kroger. The service. Well into the area, up, drop down. And White able to hold on to it. She was right above the crossbar. She was very close to being behind that inline.
I mean, this is unorthodox. It's an insane delivery by Kroger. It does dip, but remember, it doesn't matter if she's in the goal. It's about the ball. It's great agility from the goalkeeper and awareness of her positioning to be able to lean out and make sure that whole ball didn't cross the line. Madison White facing some adversity, coming up big. 3 big moments for the goalkeeper so far in this game. And I remember Jess Silver saying she's had some goalkeepers stand on their head against Brooklyn FC during this difficult run. Yet again, Madison White playing huge.
Towards the end line, cutting inside, sent away. Good job stepping forward by Kelsey Hill.
As we get another look again. Like I say, just that awareness of being able to step up. I don't think she's even that close at all.
Fans thought she was a little closer than she was, but the fans always do.
I mean, the fans want something to cheer about, and I don't blame them, and maybe they'll get a chance here.
Gravias pushing up the field. Walker, though, in good position right there to send that ball away. And one of the things that Pauline McDonald talked about, Jenna Walker, just the experience, how she orchestrates the back line of this Dallas Trinity side. Really one of the veteran leaders, one of the higher soccer IQ level players as well on this side.
That's what she's done well with the roster build. They've got experience, but they've also got youth, and it's that combination of the youthful energy, but also the veteran presences that is showing to be very successful for Dallas Trinity at this point of the year.
Henson goes inside. Here's Walker. Dorsey will play it outside. Patience here from Dallas Trinity as they build up. Much different build-up process for Dallas compared to what we've seen from Brooklyn. Lancaster. Poor pass back, but able to keep it in play was White. That nearly went out for a corner.
Really good work ethic from the goalkeeper there to keep that one in and even be able to serve a good pass that kept this phase of play alive. Unfortunately, for Dallas Trinity, Shepard couldn't keep it in on the touchline far side.
Struggles continue for Brooklyn. Winless in their last 3 games, have lost back-to-back games for the first time this season. Possibility of losing 3 straight. Pluck. Lancaster defending, gets her left foot on the ball. See Lancaster do a little bit of everything on the offensive side as well as on the defensive side there.
And that's the team effort. It's so impressive to see an attacking player get back in the defensive area of the pitch and have that work rate. You can't teach that amount of demand and that amount of fight. And I love the opportunity we had to talk to Cameron Lancaster, where she said she's a player that just wants to get on the ball and find opportunities to help her side. And it's not always going to be flashy goals and great moments. Some of it's going to be the dirty work defensively as well.
This ball headed away. And so we'll play it out wide. Picker goes inside. No one there for Brooklyn. Not on the same page. Madison White and company looking for possibly her 7th clean sheet of the season. Pickard lofts it up. Giveaway by Brooklyn. And then the foul by Brooklyn. Pickard already sitting on a yellow card. Walker will play this way. Walker into the area. Well read by Martinez.
And you heard her scream keeper immediately. That's great judgment from the goalkeeper. Read the flight of the ball very well, comes to claim. You can see Sydney Martinez so much better in the second half.
Chance here maybe for Brooklyn on the right. Deflect by Walker. Rosiano with a great opportunity. Walker in the perfect spot to block that away, but a corner here for Brooklyn.
It's just so impressive how Walker's been able to time herself and position herself so well for several of these big blocks. And Brooklyn FC have to be wondering what they have to do to be able to evade the Dallas Trinity back line. Sam Kroger, we saw a really unique set-piece delivery from the previous free kick. We'll see if she tries to swing this one in under the crossbar and test White in goal.
Kroger plays it in. Headed up. Thornton. And now a throw coming for Brooklyn.
But again, an attacking player defending and fighting back. It's everybody involved with trying to preserve the clean sheet for Dallas.
Lancaster once again winning the ball and then getting fouled.
Just so smart.
Goal scorers doing work on both sides.
And she's such a frustrating player to play against because of that tight ball control. And as Brooklyn, you want to dispossess her, but she's so smart with her body placement to be able to draw that free kick and invite an opportunity. Just see it here with this. She reads the tackle really well and then just knows exactly what she's doing, slowing down and luring Grabias into the contact for the free kick.
Lancaster scored the opening goal on a Martinez mistake. It was followed up by a Thornton goal in the 19th minute, also off a Martinez mistake. And then here in the second half, Strawn scored coming off the bench for Dallas. And now players at the sideline getting some water as Madison White is actually a player down. So a chance here for each team to get a little bit of hydration in.
And I think even more than hydration, just that last-minute coaching tips. When you're heading to the twilight moments of a match, 13 minutes of regulation to play, you just want to regroup with your team. And I think for Dallas Trinity right now, you've got a 3-goal cushion, but you really, really want to focus on preserving that clean sheet. To get back-to-back clean sheets against Brooklyn FC just helps grow that confidence and that belief and that stability in your defense.
Henson and Thornton there talking about how they can link up a little bit more in their pairing. Lancaster out. Nankia in.
It's a debut for Nankia, the Ugandan that came in on loan.
Philpotts also in. Grabias off the field. Henson gets by Kroger, gets inside. Henson trying to turn away from Kroger. Shepard twisting, turning, loses the ball out of play. And now Philpotts will officially be allowed on the field. So Grace Philpotts on. Grabias off. More than 10 minutes remains in this game. Dallas looking for their second straight win against this Brooklyn side. Brooklyn won the first 2 meetings against these 2 teams, and it has been a change here in these last 2 as Martinez able to cover up the ball. Dude, you go back to those first 2 games, they were close. Very much different here in these last 2.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's just been really well tactically played by Pauline McDonald's side, but more importantly, Brooklyn FC just has conceded that early goal. And when you concede a goal so early in a game, particularly doing it 2 times running, there's a little bit of that self-fulfilling prophecy. And I can't help but think When Brooklyn conceded that first goal, there had to have been a moment in those players' heads of, oh no, here we go again.
Peniso will go back inside. Hill, diagonal ball, headed away. This ball driven forward into the area, but headed away. Shepard pushes it forward. Pickard. Back post ball. And once again, White right there to jump up and cover it up.
And an underrated part of this play is the way that Madison White goes to ground and just allows a few seconds to be absorbed from the clock. She could stand up and catch that every day of the week. But what she does is she slows down the play, she wastes a few seconds, she allows her defense an opportunity to step up a little bit more slowly and a bit of a break. And it's just mature goalkeeping from White.
Talk about the mental side there, understanding when to duck down like that. But for you, what do you like in terms of her movement when she reads shots?
Oh, she's so agile. She's so agile. She's got the height, which is also helpful, but just her quick feet.
We will have a booking here as we have a foul called against Dallas. Gracie Bryan called for the foul.
Get another look here. Kroger is about to release the ball, and you see Bryan just keep it up with her, a simple hand across the shoulder to pull her down. It's a professional foul. It's a yellow card every day of the week, but again, you talk about smart fouls and cynical, but an intelligent foul when you look at what Kroger could have done in that moment.
The service. And once again, Madison White right there, no danger.
Just love her as a goalkeeper. Absolutely love what she's brought to the table today. And it can be hard as a goalkeeper when you're not credited with too many stats. She'll just be credited with 3 saves at this point in the game, but her interventions have been remarkable.
Interesting, catching Brooklyn FC in action live at Maimonides Park. Scan the QR code on the screen for a chance to win 4 free tickets to Brooklyn's next home match versus Tampa Bay Sun FC on Saturday, March 29th. See you in Coney Island. Dallas Trinity, a chance to get their 8th win of the season. It'd be their 4th win on the road this year. Up next for Dallas, they don't play until March 29th when they take on Carolina Ascent on the road. Going forward there for Dallas. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, quick turnaround for them. Sunday, they'll be on the road against DC Power FC. That game will kick at 2 p.m. Thornton on the ball. Henson looking for Shepard. That ball blocked down. Nearly found Shepard. Shepard tracks it down before it can go across the end line. Shepard doing good work since she is subbed on.
And it can be tough as a player, particularly a player that's far away from home. Obviously, Lucy Shepard, the English native, came in from Blackburn Rovers to come as a sub. But she has the perfect attitude. She comes on, she has an impact. Last time out against Brooklyn FC, she was able to score off of the bench, and she's putting in a shift. And that's what you want from your bench players. You want them to be motivated, you want them to have an impact, and that just shows me that Pauline McDonald has brought everybody to buy into the cause.
Henson at the corner. Shepard nearly won the ball back. Davison working her way down the touchline. Davison fighting for the ball, and this will be a corner for Dallas Trinity.
Great work by Davison in the corner, and you see it here. She just drives, puts her head down and is confident, and this is a credit to the system for Dallas Trinity that they empower defensive players to attack space when they see it, and they reap the rewards by earning a set piece.
The corner. Just right at Martinez. Last time these two teams met, we had 5 different goal scorers for Dallas Trinity. Tonight we've had 3 different goal scorers. White will scoop this ball up. Stay informed about all things Super League. Visit USLSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into the league. Pickard unable to get to the ball as she runs out of steam. Pickard. Pickard will play it outside. Just overhits the ball and a goal kick here for Madison White.
I'll give credit to Jess Silver's side, though, because they've continued to battle even against the adversity. Lucy Shepherd, I think, got stepped on in that previous phase of play. She did stay down injured after getting caught by Pickard as she went to ground, but Pauline McDonald and Jess Silver are 2 coaches that have the utmost respect for each other. And I think Jess Silver will see that this is a difficult position to find herself in as we get another look at the contact. Yeah, the studs are pretty high in the end. Pickard goes to ground and flashes the studs, and that's what Lucy Shepherd is asking for there. She's a little disappointed to have not seen a foul based on the nature of the exposed studs from the slide tackle that came in. Chance for Madison White to record her 7th clean sheet of the year. That would lead the league. Good look at Amber Brooks there wearing the captain's armband as Jenna Walker will send it away. How important is it, the age difference that this Dallas Trinity side has? Players in their 30s, and then you go to the academy players and just teenagers learning from these veteran players that have had experience, whether it be here in the States or overseas as well. I would love it. I would love it as a young player to have that opportunity to learn, but I also think as an older player, it's a great opportunity to develop as a mentor. This ball sent back towards midfield. And that's something that the Super League has done absolutely right with the academy players that don't lose their eligibility but get an opportunity to play against full-time professionals and test themselves. Celie Strong, one of those academy players for Dallas Trinity, with a goal here tonight. Kroger up the middle. Ball back post. Puck able to track it down. It's in, but repelled away. And a throw here coming for Brooklyn. Brooklyn showing signs of life, but unable to get anything by White. Well, as much as it feels like at this point in the game, it would be a huge mountain and a 1 in a million game if they're able to claw back 3 goals for a point. A goal would be a victory for Brooklyn FC when they've struggled to find the back of the net in such a long period of time. To have been shut out their last 2 games, to have an opportunity to find the back of the net would still be a blessing for their momentum going into their next matchup. Next match at DC Power FC, 2 p.m. on Sunday. This ball played in, headed backwards. They're seeing decent balls played in where it's either making Madison White work, or in that time, one of the other defenders having to defend it and head it backwards and out of play. They just got to find a way to cut across those defenders or cut across the goalkeeper, though, and win that first ball in. Looping ball, headed up and over. When they do win it, it's just not meeting it in the correct way. Just getting underneath that service from Gaziano was a little high. It's difficult to meet it as a run. We'll get another look here. Pantuso gets underneath it, and when you're on the 3 yards away from frame with a ball coming at you like that, you're not going to be able to get the jump to head that one down on frame.
Life is there. The effort is there as well for this Brooklyn side. They're not giving up in this game, even though they could hang their heads if they wanted to.
And that will be the victory for Jess Silva's side. The effort and the resilience and the mental state has been far better in this matchup.
Now it looks like we might have another booking handed out here.
I think it went to the bench of Brooklyn, actually, for having a word or two to say to our center referee. It has become a bit chippy, a little chippy, and I can see Brooklyn FC's frustration. There are a couple of challenges that went flying in behind the ball that went missing.
It also shows that these coaches have the backs of their players. Hey, we want to get this call. We think there was a foul here, or whatever the difference might be, but it at least shows the fight.
Yeah, I as a player, just want a coach and teammates that are going to stick up for me.
So we're told Niku Purcell got the yellow card, so the goalkeeper in this case, Niku Purcell, the backup tonight, handed the yellow on the bench. Frustration from a player, but still having the back of her teammates as well. Ball played in, headed back, and once again out of play by Brooklyn.
And once again, it's Pantuso getting up underneath it. It's good to see the height of the defender getting up into those attacking areas, but just not timing necessarily the way that she met the ball to be able to test Madison White in goal.
For Brooklyn, as they go into the game on Sunday, what do you need to see from them to see a different team against DC Power?
I think they've got to find an opportunity some way, somehow, to find the back of the net. It sounds simple, but it really is that much for Brooklyn FC right now. Whether it's a goal from a deflection, even an own goal, some goal, just to have that moment of celebration and that encouragement that you have goals in you. And it's madness, really, that we say that when you look at this side of Brooklyn FC and the attacking players that they do have, that they're on this goal drought. But they just need, as Jess Silva told us this week, a goal for the floodgates to open. And unfortunately, right now, they're on track for another game without that said goal.
Scoreless the 3 games previous coming into tonight's match. And it looks like it's going to be 4 straight games unless they get a goal here within the next 30 seconds or so. There's a push from behind by Henson. Brooklyn took the first 2 matches between these sides, and Dallas Trinity taking the second 2 matches. The tide has turned from the fall season to the spring season here for Brooklyn. White looking to hold on for her 7th clean sheet, which would lead the league. A chance here, try and chip it over, and well out. And there is the final whistle. Dallas Trinity, their 2nd straight win against Brooklyn. Jessica, your thoughts on tonight's performance?
Well, Dallas Trinity and Pauline McDonald's side have cracked the code. Jess Silva, yet again, 2 coaches that have so much respect for each other. But Dallas Trinity just a better side in the evening. The goal scoring prowess, the finishing of opportunities, the execution of the game plan. For Brooklyn FC, they have to find a way to turn the screws and get a goal in their next match.
Dallas showing that they're patient, they were organized, they created chances, they forced mistakes in this game, forced 2 errors from the goalkeeper and Martinez. They go on the road and they get the win by a score of 3-0, and they get 3 more points in the standings, now sitting 3rd in the standings. But we'll return with highlights and stats and interview as Dallas gets the win on the road 3-0. Welcome back as Dallas Trinity gets the win 3-0, and we are now joined by the keeper, Madison White. Madison White, back-to-back games with clean sheets against a tough Brooklyn side. What worked well for you in this team here these last 2 games against Brooklyn?
You know, I think Brooklyn's a great team, and especially this game, we knew they were going to come at us, especially because of last game. So I think we knew that we had to come out and expect their best, you know, because the way that we beat them last time, it's not great for them. So they were going to come out at us, and we knew that. And so I think we were well prepared for that. And so we really gave it to them, and I'm really proud of the team for that.
Madison, I know it's difficult at times to talk about your individual performance, but you need to get your flowers. You were very dominant in the air. How did you feel coming for some of those crosses? I love the corner kick save. How did you feel about your individual performance tonight?
You know, I'm proud of the way I played, but I mean, I can't do any of this without the people in front of me. They make it easy for me to do my job, and that's always great. And so it's a huge team performance. And I knew that I had to come up big on these crosses because Brooklyn could be lethal on the corners and in the air. So I knew I had to come up big for the team, and they have my back. So
now you got 10 days off between now and playing Carolina Ascent, back to the training ground. What do you think you guys are going to try and really focus on in that break?
You know, some rest starting off. I mean, we had despite the score lines, it's 2 difficult games against Brooklyn. They're a good team, and it's a lot on our bodies. So rest, first of all, but, you know, we need to get at Carolina. We need the points. I think we're head-to-head with them right now with points. I don't know the exact points, but we need the points, and we're going to come at them. And I know that they're going to come at us. So it's going to be a good game. We're excited.
Thank you, Madison. Congratulations on the victory and the 7th clean sheet. Go enjoy it. That was Madison White, the goalkeeper of Dallas Trinity, getting her 7th clean sheet of the season. Now the league leader here in the USL Super League as we take a look back at the highlights.
And we talk about goalkeepers. Unfortunately for Sydney Martinez, wasn't her best night at the office. It all started early. The high press from Lancaster results in an error, and then a simple finish from Cameron Lancaster. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, deja vu again for Sydney Martinez in goal. It should be a simple pass. She takes that heavy touch and ends up striking it straight into the boots of Ali Thornton. You see the reaction of the teammates. It's just a moment to forget for the back line. Ali Thornton goes equal in the golden boot race with that goal, and she won't score much easier goals than that. There was a regroup from Brooklyn FC. They came out pretty well in that second half, but it would be yet again Dallas Trinity knocking on the door. It's a fantastic strike coming out of Lancaster that forces a perfect save. Vasily Strawn, right place, right time to put cherry on the top. Goal number 3 for Dallas Trinity, and they should celebrate because it's been very impressive on the pitch for Dallas Trinity. Madison White getting her flowers for yet another clean sheet.
7 clean sheets now on the season. Back-to-back clean sheets for White and company. 5 different goal scorers and a 6-0 win over Brooklyn. 3 different goal scorers here tonight, and you look at the difference. Shots on target, 8-3 for Brooklyn.
And it's all about the clinical finishing of Dallas Trinity. They were able to find the target on the majority of their strikes. On the flip side, Brooklyn FC just couldn't do that today. Interestingly enough, they just outpossessed Dallas Trinity, but it's not about how much ball you have. It's about what you utilize the ball to do.
They did not do enough with the ball in the attack in third, and with the 3 points now, Dallas Trinity leapfrogs over Carolina Ascent into that 3rd position. Top 4 teams make the playoffs here in USL Super League.
And I think what Dallas Trinity will be well aware of is that game in hand that they have on Brooklyn FC as well. If they're able to beat Carolina Ascent when they play each other next, that would push them even higher and just put that gap between the playoff line, because as we know in the inaugural season, it's all about getting that postseason berth.
Tampa Bay Sun had a chance to move up in the standings today, but ultimately they fell to Spokane. But it's Dallas Trinity going on the road, getting the victory against Brooklyn. A dominant performance here tonight on the road once again, both offensively as well as defensively. The press playing off big for Dallas Trinity. They will have 10 days off, but back at it for Brooklyn on Sunday as they will play at 2 p.m. for our crew. For Jessica Charman, I'm Josh Tolstein. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.